Now, of late, I have been watching quite a bit of Formula E, and especially the qualifying, because it has a very interesting qualifying format, because it's more of a round robin knockout format, which is the one you usually see in a lot of sports, and especially football competitions such as the World Cup or the Champions League or any other competition in sports that contains a knockout round format, and that's what Formula E also uses. Would such a format work out in Formula One? Now, of course, Formula One is the pinnacle of motorsport, where so many things have been tried out, not just on the cars, on the tracks, but even to the formats itself, such as the introduction of the F1 Sprint, which newly came in 2021 and was first held at the 2021 British Grand Prix. And it's not the only type of option to decide pole. A lot has been introduced, such as the one-lap shootout at Monaco that was used in previous years, and also the hilarious one that was introduced in 2016 to knock out the slowest driver, even in Q3, which made no sense at all. So I think that what I'm about to say could be either a good idea or a bad idea. And I know I've taken too much time on the introduction, but let's just see how it goes. Now, the first part of this is, of course, Formula One contains 20 drivers, and 20 drivers enter the qualifying session. Unless somebody gets injured or something, or just doesn't start, but 20 drivers enter the qualifying session. And for this order to be decided, there must be a 15 or maybe more or possibly less to decide the slowest four. So to make it a proper round of 16, we'll have to knock out 17th to 20th places, respectively. And from 17th to 20th, whoever finishes in those positions in that session is where they're going to start for the race. The remaining 16 are in the round of 16 and have 12 plus minutes to knock out the slowest 8. So going from 8th place, ninth, or yes, just the slowest 8th. And the slowest 8th will start where they are on the race. The final 8 advance to the quarterfinals, where there's going to be a one-lap shootout to decide the remaining positions. So there will be 4 pairs containing 2 drivers, just the way it is, just like any other competition with the knockout round format. So the slowest in each are out of qualifying, and depending on the order which pairs do come first is where they're going to start, depending on who's the slowest. And then the final 4 will advance to the semi-finals, where there's going to be another one-lap shootout, as same as the quarterfinals, where the fastest 2 will advance to the final and the slowest 2 will be out, obviously, and the slowest 2 will be starting 3rd and 4th. And then the final 2 make it to the obvious final. And there's going to be a one-lap shootout to decide pole position. So the man who's the fastest is going to take pole, and the man who's the second fastest is going to be in second, of course. And from my own perspective, this sounds like a very interesting format, as the same way it is in Formula E. Now, how would this work out? Because we wouldn't have to wait for everyone to go out on track in these one-lap shootouts. Maybe we'd do the same as Formula E, where one driver comes out, and after a certain amount of time, when that driver started their lap or reaches the end of, let's say, the first sector, the other driver comes out on track. And I think it is a very good format, one that would make qualifying very interesting, and make it more relatable to football or something like the World Cup or the UEFA Champions League or the European Championships, whichever you could pick. And well, maybe some disadvantages could be, well, a lot of time spent on this. But Formula E do know how to do it in a quick procession, so which means it could work out. Of course, people are so used to the normal qualifying format where the slowest 5 are out in Q1 and Q2, and then Q3, the final 10 battle for pole position. But I think this format, similar to the one of Formula E, would make a very interesting qualifying. And well, we shall see, because well, it doesn't really happen at Formula One, or the FIA do tend to change things in qualifying from time to time, apart from rules of the tires and regulations. But if it is a good format, let me know down in the comments, and well, like the video if you enjoyed it, share it around if you want more people to know about this well ambitious idea, and as always, subscribe to the channel, turn notifications, and for me, Octave F1, it's goodbye.